Me.
Oh, it's not plugged in. Some technical delays here. There we go. Welcome, everyone. We're going to continue learning Hilchos Shabbos. Welcome to those that are in person, here in person, those that are watching on YouTube, Facebook. Make sure to share it with your friends, subscribe, like, ask questions. We'll try to answer it. We're doing Hilchos Shabbos from Kitzur Hilchos Shabbos, which is taken from the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. And we are up to Siman Reish Nun. In this book, it's page Samach Aleph. And we're talking here the preparations that are required. It's a mitzvah to prepare for Shabbos on Friday morning. Achana b'hashkama. Aleph. Lo'elam yashkim adam utreach u'lahachana tzarchei Shabbos be'erev Shabbos v'abeikar. A person should always get up early on Friday to do his part to prepare for the needs of Shabbos on Friday morning. The remez l'davar. Where do you see this concept that you should get up early to do it on Friday specifically? It says regarding the mon, it'll be on the 6th day, which is Friday, they'll prepare this which they've brought. Right when they bring it, they should prepare it. When did they bring the mon? In the times of the desert, when the Jewish people were in the desert, it was in the morning. So Friday morning, they were already preparing for Shabbos, even though Shabbos was that evening. But it was A, in the morning, and B, it was on the 6th day on a Friday. Now, even though he prepared everything for Shabbos early in the morning, it's a mitzvah sheyesif gam bebein hashmashes. When it gets really close, in this case, bein hashmashes means not after Shkia, but when it gets close to Shabbos starting, you should do some more preparations. It talks about the mun in the desert, just briefly for those that are watching. When the Jewish people were in the desert, they had mun. And that's how we ate. Every morning, mun came down from heaven. Besides on Shabbos. On Friday, we had the double portion. And this double portion sufficed for Friday and for Shabbos. But when it says the word double, we learn that it means prepare twice. Prepare early Friday morning for Shabbos. And even though everything's prepared, just before Shabbos comes in, you should also do another preparation. Let's assume that there's a marketplace, and let's take a practical example. You want a certain type of challah in the bakery. And if you come there after you daven, especially if you daven here at 9 o'clock, and you come there after you daven, they won't have any more challahs left for you, or the challahs that you like. So then the halacha is you could buy first and then go daven. Now normally we say certain things you don't do before you daven. And one of them is you're shopping and so on. It's better daven first and then go about your business. There are obviously exceptions to the rule. And one of these exceptions is if you feel that when you're going to go to the store after davening, you're not going to have the items that you want. So Shabbos and having the stuff for Shabbos is so important that we say you could prepare before Shabbos, you could go shopping before Shacharis so that you'll have it. But make sure, he says, make sure that you say Shema beforehand. Because you have to say Shema before a certain time. And if you're going to go for shopping and then you're going to come to daven Shacharis and so on and so forth, you may miss that time. So although you're not going to daven now, make sure that you say Shema. However, if the minyan is davening, don't miss that. Don't separate from the minyan and say, oh, sorry, I got to go shopping now. But you see from here the importance of having the stuff that you need for Shabbos and preparing for it specifically on Friday. And even if it means davening a little bit later, as long as it's before the right time. He brings here in the footnote, interestingly, that Shema we're concerned the person might miss. But Zman Tefillah is another hour after that. So between your shopping, you'll have enough time to come back and daven. But again, don't miss minyan for that. Dvarim she'inam tzrichin achana. There are certain things that don't require preparation. For example, you go to mashkin, you're buying a bottle of some type of drink. Certain sweets. It's not like you're buying raw fish, you have to prepare it. The things that don't require preparation, it's better to buy them on Thursday than to buy them on, it's better to buy them on Friday rather than buying them on Thursday. About things that need preparation. Hey, it's better to buy them on Thursday. You should have a lot of time to prepare and make them ready for eating. And then you could do everything else you have to do for Shabbos. But you see the practical implications, something which takes time, buy it enough time before Shabbos. You should be able to prepare it on Thursday, and you'll have it ready. The next section here of the halacha is telling you about the mitzvah of doing it on your own, of personally being involved in preparing for Shabbos. Let's say a person has multiple servants or aides and people that are helping him out. Normally he doesn't go shopping, and normally he doesn't cook food, and normally he doesn't clean. He has a lot of helpers, but he should still try to do something on his own himself for Shabbos. This is a concept that we say regarding all mitzvahs. It's much better for you to do the mitzvah yourself rather than send a messenger to do it on your behalf. Because a mitzvah is a special thing, you do it. Obviously, certain mitzvahs you can never send anyone. You can't ask someone to put on tefillin for you. You can't ask someone to learn Torah instead of you. You can't eat matzah in your place. But other mitzvahs, like preparing for Shabbos, technically you could have someone else do it for you. So he stresses that it's better to do it on your own because it's much better to do a mitzvah yourself rather than do it with on having a shliach do it for you. Just share a story that happened. There was a yid, a bacher in 770, who he went to get permission to go to his own wedding was coming up. He was out of town, and he wanted permission from the Hanhala of Yeshiva to have some of the bachrim, some of his friends, to take off time from Yeshiva to travel. I think he was getting married in Montreal. To travel to Montreal to have the wedding, participate and so on in their friend's wedding, and come back. So he told him, the Rosh Yeshiva said, listen, it's actually the Menahel, the principal said, you don't even yourself, you don't have to go. You can appoint a shliach to do the chasana for you. So the Rosh Yeshiva who heard it, he said, hey, but mitzvah ba yesem b'shlucha, it's better to do it yourself. Anyway, point is like this, that although you could have someone else do the preparations for Shabbos, Shabbos is so special, and the preparations for it is such a mitzvah, it's better to do it yourself rather than appoint someone else to do it instead of you. Chayiv kol adam lihishtada v'laseh shum davar. Every person has to try and do something for Shabbos. Let's say he's a very prominent person. It's not his way. You don't find him in the marketplace buying stuff for Shabbos. He doesn't do housework. Nonetheless, you got to do something for Shabbos. So we said, having someone else do it for you, it's better not to. But it's not a chiyuv gomer. If you want to have someone else do it for you, it's okay. But you must do something for the preparation of Shabbos. Something. Some of the greatest sages, they would do work on their own types of tasks, which wasn't appropriate, if you will, for their status. In other words, normally they would not be doing this type of work. They're too prominent, too important for this type of stuff. For example, or before that, in order to add in the honor of Shabbos, he wants to show that it's important to him and he cares for the honor of Shabbos. Like a person his Rebbe is coming to his house, he himself is going to sweep up, he himself is going to help, he himself is going to make sure that everything is perfect. We should learn from these great sages that every person, even if normally you don't do shopping, even if normally you don't clean, even if normally you don't prep food, but when it comes to Shabbos preparations, make sure that you're involved. A person should not say, how can I mess up or impact my honor? I can't take away my honor. I'm a respectful person. I don't peel potatoes. It's for Shabbos, you should do it. So we have, number one, a person should prepare early Friday morning, get up early, start the preparations for Shabbos. So much so that if it's not available in the marketplace by the time you finish davening, go before davening, as long as you have a minyan, as long as you say Shema before. Do it. And when it gets closer to Shabbos, do some more preparations. Great Chachamim, who normally were not involved in household chores or types of things related to shopping and cooking, when it came to Shabbos, they made sure to be involved in something. And so should you, even if you're very prominent and honorable. Take the time. Shabbos is a very important thing. It's special. Do something for Shabbos. There is an interesting footnote here that he brings from Kotras Acharin, from the Alter Rebbe, where he says that when you prepare for Shabbos, even if you're not going to do a lot of stuff, we do something, that something that you prepare should be connected to Einik Shabbos. Certain things we do on Shabbos, we discussed it in the beginning, is about enjoyment for Shabbos, pleasure for Shabbos. It has to do with certain types of food, has to do with clothing. Your preparations for Shabbos, at least, do a little bit towards the Einik Shabbos. That's a really special mitzvah. You're involved in preparing for the pleasure related to Shabbos. So important is it to prepare for Shabbos that we say, let's say you learn all day, every day, Friday, and a little early. That's about learning Torah. How much more so other business deals and other work-related stuff. Stop early on Friday. You should have enough time, focus, headspace to be able to prepare for Shabbos. Or unless you already prepared everything on Thursday, or you have someone that could do it for you. But normally speaking, stop a little earlier, even if you're learning, so that you should be able to prepare for Shabbos. And indeed, in yeshivas all over the world, they stop the seder of learning a little earlier on Friday, and kodelim and so on, if they have learning at all on Friday morning, to be able to prepare for Shabbos. Some places have an interesting minhag. They don't even designate a yeshiva on Shabbos. In other words, on Erev Shabbos. Friday, they won't sit down and have major learning. Why? Because when you start learning, it's a davar she'ein le kitzvah. You get into a sugya, you get into a topic, you start to analyze it, you start to question it, you start to prove, to answer, to ask questions on the answer. Like the Baal Shem Tov said, every question has an answer, and every answer has a question on the answer. And it keeps going. So you get into a topic, you ask, you answer, you discuss, and you may get really carried away, and then it's Shabbos, and you don't have time to prepare. But if it's something which has a particular thing, you're going to learn one chapter, we're going to learn this perek, or we're going to learn this maimer, we're going to learn this idea, this chumash parsha, whatever, that you could do, if you do it every day, or if it's something that your custom is every Friday you learn it. For example, you go over the parsha with Rashi. Don't stop doing it. Oh, it's out of Shabbos. And even something that you don't usually do, but if you're doing it barabim, with a community or with a group, don't stop it. It's a good thing, and you should do it, and you should learn it. But keep in mind that if after you finish learning on your Friday morning, you're going to start going shopping, and they'll tell you, sorry, right? The fish is gone. The challahs are gone. You came too late. Stop the learning and go shopping so you have the right stuff for Shabbos. We'll finish with the next three halachas. It's important that a person should sharpen their knives Erev Shabbos. It's an honor for Shabbos that you're preparing the knives. We're talking about knives which need to be sharpened regularly, and if you don't, it doesn't cut well. So the honor of Shabbos is make sure on Fridays that you sharpen your knives. I don't know how common today, every Friday you have to sharpen knives if it's still sharp. The footnote he brings is not just for Shabbos, it's also for Shalom Bayis. It brings peace in the home, because when they come to cut something and the wife wants to cut it and the knife is not working, it's frustrating. So sharpening out of Shabbos, the knives, is for Shalom Bayis, and it's for Kavod of Shabbos. There's a good idea that a person should say before everything that he buys, Zeu l'chveit Shabbos. Now, it's not our minhag, we don't do it, but people have a custom. Everything they buy, they say, this is in honor of Shabbos. They're buying challah, they're buying bread, they're buying fish, meat, whatever it is, this is in honor of Shabbos. Everything that he does, he should think he's doing it for the honor of Shabbos. You focus, this is a mitzvah. I'm not just going shopping, I'm not just cleaning. I'm not just preparing. It's for Shabbos. There's a custom, and the Rebbe brings that the Frierdiker Rebbe did not do this, but people have a custom that they taste from every single dish before Shabbos. We want to make sure that it's done right. You have 6, 7, 10, 20 items. You taste each one of those items. Tevilita, we call tafshel to taste each one of those items before Shabbos begins. It's part of the preparation. Going to stop now for Maidev. Thanks for joining. Share, like, subscribe. Continue with Hashem tomorrow.